Ladies and boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright. NASCAR Cup Series Toyota Owners 400 from yesterday. Little reaction, some of the hot button topics today. We're going to start with kind of run down what I felt, my opinion on everything that happened over the race. So we started on rain tires, which or treaded tires, wet weather tires, whatever you want to call them, wet track tires. I have no issue with that. I actually think it's kind of cool to get the race started, because you figure the race got started a good 45 minutes to an hour earlier than it would have if they would have had to drive the track. The only thing I disagree with, I think they should have sent the jet drivers down pit road before time for pit stop. That was kind of a waste. That was kind of like whatever. What I would have done if I was them, once the cars roll, I know it's only a 3/4 mile track, but once the cars rolled off pit road, is then you hit the jet drivers down, do a couple pace laps. When you come down pit road, you just pull the jet dryers up on the front stretch, or they're in the dog leg, or the whatever you want to call the front stretch there at Richmond. It kind of curves. Pull the jet dryers over there, let them go down pit road, circle back up, a couple more pass, push the water up against the wall, and get out of there and get the race started. That's the only thing I wish they would have done different. And then also, let the teams decide when to take the tires off. Don't throw that competition caution and make the teams take the wets off that dries on. Let the teams decide. I know with IndyCar, it's up to the teams what they decide, so I kind of like that. Because then you get different strategy. You got people staying on the wets, but they're going to leave the dries on. That's another thing that NASCAR could take from IndyCar is, on IndyCar, they have the white letter tires, blacks, and reds, they call them. The reds wear out quick. The fact that they have to use at least one round of reds, and they use the blacks the rest of the time. I think NASCAR and Goodyear could work out something like Firestone does with that. I think that I know the weight of the car, they may not be able to do it as quick. I know they tried these before, and it didn't work at the All-Star race one year, but I think, based on the tire wear that we saw at Bristol, I think it can be done. I know the ones we tried before, they only felt a couple seconds, but Firestone's doing something with IndyCar where it works. I kind of like that. NASCAR could adopt something like that. Through the race, we all know there's three big pieces that people had all kinds of issues with today. Number one was the Kyle Busch caution. You have to think, and you got to look at it not only from the fans' point of view, from the driver's point of view, from the sanction body's point of view. When they see a car go up the track like that, especially on a short track, you have a split second to decide, is he going to spin or is he not? They hit the button for the caution. He doesn't spin and drives off. Oh, they should have thrown a caution there. But if he would have spun, came down the track, and they waited, and then you have people piling in, well, they should have threw the caution earlier. So it's a judgment call. When humans are eyeballing that kind of judgment calls, there's no way in that case to have a computer, AI, or anything do it. It's literally a human looking at it going, caution, no caution. So I'd rather them err on the side of caution and throw a caution before something major happens versus not having a caution. Now, we know, speaking of cautions, the Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace spot, Kyle said he got loose. When you get loose, you lift. When you lift, you slow down. When the person behind you is within a car length and you slow down abruptly, picture going down the highway in your personal car and driving up on traffic, and you gotta lock her down. You gotta slam on the brakes to keep hitting the car in front of you, and you got quite a bit of space. They're doing 3 times what you're doing on the highway with 3 times less space. So Bubba got into him. Now, was it fully Bubba's fault? No. Was it fully Kyle's fault for getting loose? No. Things happen. Accidents happen. Things happen on the track. Just like we saw at the end. Bubba went over and talked to Kyle. Even Kyle said, dude, you get it worse than I did, so we're all good, man. And I respect Kyle for that. I respect the way Kyle handled that. I respect the way Kyle talked about Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, MTJ was pissed. Now, when it comes to the actual incident, I'm confident in saying this because I've heard some other people with the same take, and based on that little interaction, I agree. I don't think Bubba Wallace is going, all right, I'm in 4th place. There's 4 laps to go. Denny's in second. If I spin Larson out here, that's going to give Denny a shot under the caution to take the lead and win this race. But if I cause this caution, I may not finish fourth, because if we're going to pit tires, and my pit crew sucks, because I have all year, but I'm going to help Denny win. I'm going to screw myself in the process. I'm going to get rid of a top 5 finish. I'm going to get rid of those 10 points, and I'm going to hurt 2311 and 23 team, but damn it, I'm going to help my owner win a race. He's already got one race on the year. I'm going to cost myself a playoff spot just to get Denny that extra win. No, people. Bubba Wallace not sit in the car and do that. Kyle lifted. Bubba got into him. Bubba felt bad. Kyle didn't get hurt, thankfully, or nothing happened to the car. He lost 2 spots. He gained them back on pit road. And the 23 team got Bubba back 10 spots. Yeah. But you know what? When that caution came out, there ain't a person in this thing goes, all right, Denny Hamlin's winning this sucker now. There was no shot at no one thought that. The only way Denny Hamlin won is because the 11 team got him out in front of everyone else. And the 23 team sucked. As for the restart, something Todd Gordon said on the late shift that actually resonated with me, it made a lot of sense. If you're going to tell NASCAR, if you say there's a rule, you can't start before the line, by golly, you need to enforce it. There's no gray area. It's either the line or nothing. So when the next row behind Hamlin is Logano, behind Larson is, was it Truex, I think? No, behind Truex was Larson. And they go early and they push you. And like Denny Hamlin said on this podcast, he's watching his mirrors. He's not really looking at the windshield. He's literally watching the mirror. What are the guy behind me doing? Like I say, when you're watching the dash, he's literally watching the mirror, watching the camera, watching the mirror, watching the camera. What's people behind me doing? When they back off and they get a run and he goes, what's he supposed to do? Just, I can't go yet. Now, I still have recorded the Coda race. So we're going to take a little screenshot here. I'm going to show it to you. The last 3 starts on the start of the 3rd stage. Willie Byron's the leader. Ross Chastain took the outside. You can clearly see Ross Chastain, his nose is over the line. Byron's is not. Yes, it's a judgment call NASCAR made on Denny Hamlin. If everyone wants NASCAR to letter of the law, no matter what, there is 0 gray area. I know people were talking about the track limits at COTA. They were still giving people some, and then they were still penalizing people. But if you want them on everything, letter of the law, this is it. There's no gray area. I don't think you want that. I don't think you want Chase Elliott. I don't think you want insert popular driver and Denny's spot, and then NASCAR goes DQ or 30-second penalty or last card on the lead lap, whatever penalty is, and they drop from 1st to 21st, and they start taking wins away all the time. I don't think fans want that. But let's take a look at this, what I was talking about here. So I have it paused, and you can see the line that goes across the track. The one car on the outside is the valence is over the line. The car on the inside is not. The leader is the car on the inside, Byron. So the people that want this as the rule, there's no gray area. That's a penalty. I'm sorry, it is. I don't want NASCAR to get to that nitpicky. Personally, as a fan of the sport, a long-time fan of the sport, I've been a fan since the late 80s, NASCAR said they reviewed it. NASCAR said it was clean. They deemed it good. NASCAR is the law and order of the sport. They're officials of the law and order. They're the officials that decide penalty or not penalty. If we're not going to take what they say and go, you know what? It looks like on TV this happened, but the officials said this. So, okay, it is what it is. Instead of we go on social media and go, we call a NASCAR out, you say, you know what, if you had any guts at all, NASCAR, you should suspend him, you should fine him, you should do this for him. Because it's Denny Hamlin. Because you know why? Because he beat your favorite driver. All of them. I think because of who won. If Chase Elliott would have won a race like that, there ain't a backlash. There ain't no one saying a word. Frost Chastain would have won that race, they're saying something. If Bubba Wallace would have won that race, they're saying something. Ryan Blaney, they're not saying that. I also think Kyle Larson won, they wouldn't say that. I think it's who it was. But I think the Kyle Busch caution, it is what it is. They made a judgment call. Bubba did not take out Larson to get Denny Hamlin to win. That's just horse hockey. The restart, even Denny said, if you look at the camera angle, he was technically behind the line, yes. But he went off the people behind him. So like even Todd Gordon said on the late shift, if you're going to penalize Denny for the restart, and I get people want that, you're also penalizing the 5 and the 22. Do you want 3 of the top 4 to get penalized for a restart violation when we're talking like feet? We're not talking like car lengths, we're talking feet. I mean, I get if you do, that's fine. But don't ask for that. We want them boom, boom, boom. But yet you complain when they did that last week on the course limits at COTA. That's my only not quite understanding this. They did it last week in COTA with the course limits. They dinged a lot of people for those. We had a problem with that. SVG finished second. You got a 30-second penalty. There shouldn't be a penalty on the last lap, but yet on the last restart we want Denny Hamlin penalized. The two don't match to me. But you know what? I can respectfully talk to people on social media, but unfortunately when I don't get that respect back, it's done. So this is my opinion about everything. My opinion only. I know I voiced this on social media earlier. Has people, calling me this, that, and the other, and saying NASCAR pays me. No, I'm not. I'm just a person that watches. I'm just a fan of the sport. I mean, come on. I've been the one cup race in my life. I mean, come on, people. But it is what it is. But that's just my opinions and everything. Denny, did he start early? Yeah, you can clearly see the line was here. He was here. But if we're going to try and make NASCAR judge in that, I don't know if you want that Pandora's box open, people. I don't. No. I was good with that. Because guess what? There were still 3 laps. Guess what? He was side by side with Truex going into 1. Because Truex got a hell of a shot by Larson. I feel if it wasn't Denny in that spot, no one would care. But just my opinion. That is my reaction to the Toyota Owners 400 from Richmond. Next week is Martinsville. Oh boy, can't wait. It's going to be fun. Oh, one other thing. I threw out there, people talk about inconsistent cautions, and I asked for examples of this. When we have to go back to 2017 and 2018, there's not really a big deal about that. I mean, if we're going that far back to find an example when the rules have changed in the last 7 years, probably, I mean, come on. Yeah, and the 2 examples that was given, one was an Xfinity race, one was a Cup race. The Cup race got the caution, the Xfinity race didn't. But they weren't exactly the same, but they were similar. But, because, no 2 cautions are exactly the same. But, hey, maybe I'm just, I enjoy the sport just to enjoy it. I don't, sit there and harp on every millisecond and remember, you know what? Back in 1991 at this racetrack, yeah, dudes, once the race is over, I got other things in my mind. I enjoy it. I move on. Phoenix, people said it was a bad race. I enjoyed it. Atlanta was a great race. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's just the way I am. But anyway, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.